So personal best sector times were coming in sort of the first and second sector, but nothing really to write home about for quite a few of the drivers. De Vries also missing the cut there as well.
And Barnard's the one to watch because he's
done it. Third quickest, Taylor Barnard. What about Nick Cassidy as well? We know that lap time was deleted. Muller consolidates himself with second. Jean-Eric Vergne across the line in the Citroën. He's only 7th quickest, Cassidy, and he's only, again, 7th quickest just in front of his teammates. So that's an absolute shocker for the two Citroëns, not getting through out of Group A and into the dual stages of qualifying. Well, qualifying Group A is completed then. Jake Dennis, winner from Sao Paulo, ahead of Nico Muller, his former teammate. Taylor Barnard pops himself into third ahead of Mortara. Da Costa, Nato, Cassidy, Vergne, Ericsson and Nick De Vries all missing out on a step into the duels here today for qualifying. All eyes then on Vergne as he comes through the Peraltada and aims it for the line. Needs to get himself inside the top 4 to go through and into the dual stages as he comes to the checkered flag. It's not enough. Pascal Vergne and Porsche are out of qualifying in Group B.
And Roland's abandoned his lap. He's coming to the pits.
Group B qualifying, though, concludes. Sebastian Buemi ahead of Dan Ticktum, Mitch Evans and reigning champion Oliver Rowland. The big upset, though, Pascal Vergne, former 4-time pole sitter, out of Group B qualifying. Quarterfinal 1 coming up then. First of all, it's Taylor Barnard for DS Penske and Nico Muller in the Porsche. Can Muller respond? He's a 10th.5 down in Sector 2 as we come to the line. For Nico Muller, he's catching though in the Peraltada as he aims it for the checkered flag. It is not enough to out-qualify Taylor Barnard and he finishes in second position. Barnard, the youngster for DS Penske, is through and into the semi-finals for the first time with that team. Over to quarterfinal 2, I beg your pardon, and it's Eduardo Mortara for Mahindra and Jake Dennis for Andretti. Dennis has picked it up in the second sector and he's fighting the car though through the final corner. You can see him all sort of elbows and angles as he tries to control the oversteer and he's not able to out-qualify Eduardo Mortara. So the Swiss driver for Mahindra goes through and into the semi-finals. He'll be going head-to-head against Taylor Barnard. QF3 then, it's Mitch Evans versus Dan Ticktum. Ticktum now, again, hanging it all on the line after a conservative start to the lap. Through the final corner then for the Briton. Is it going to be enough to out-qualify Mitch Evans as we come to the checkered flag? It is not. He misses out by 7/100ths of a second. Mitch Evans is through for his 23rd semi-final appearance for Jaguar TCS Racing. Over then to quarterfinal 4, reigning world champion Oliver Rowland for Nissan versus the man who's been on phenomenal form so far this weekend, Sebastian Buemi. Buemi is catching in Sector 2. He's built back 0.2 of a second, and can he close further still to out-qualify him? He's built up more of an advantage as we come through the Peraltada then for Sebastian Buemi. Is he going to knock out the reigning world champion from qualifying as we come to the checkered flag? Sebastian Buemi has done it by over 1/10 of a second. What a phenomenal middle and end to the lap for the former world champion. Let's see how we got, though, to the semi-final lineup. You can see quarterfinals, we have Barnard versus Muller, Dennis ahead of Mortara, and then Mortara knocking him out, of course, in the quarterfinals. Then we saw Evans versus Ticktum. Evans just getting the better of the Briton. Rowland versus Buemi. The upshot is the 2 semi-finals coming up. Eduardo Mortara in the Mahindra versus Taylor Barnard in the DS Penske. Mitch Evans and then Sebastian Buemi. So 2 Jaguar-powered cars going head-to-head with one another. Eduardo Mortara versus Taylor Barnard. Barnard's going to catch up in the second sector and he might be able to build on that still. He has a snap of oversteer into the right as well.
Yeah, he missed the apex completely there, so that's dropped him back about 1/10 and a bit. So that's going to compromise his line also for the final corner and the run, but we'll see. We saw Mortara have the slide. Barnard just sneaks in, but is it a track limit violation? We'll have to keep an eye there, because I wonder if I think
that was really close.
Meanwhile, we are now over to the second of our semi-finals. Mitch Evans versus Sebastian Buemi.
He looks so cool and composed, Buemi. The car is really nicely balanced for him, and he can just, looks like he can carry the minimum speed and put the car exactly where he wants.
Same hardware, of course, both cars. Jaguar powertrain in the back of the Envision. Evans has a 5.3. I'm not sure it's going to be enough.
Yeah, not the quickest time that we've seen so far in the quarterfinals and indeed the semi-finals of the dual stages of qualifying. Let's see what Buemi can do to respond. Has a bit of a snap of oversteer, but I think it's going to be enough. He's catching in this final sector. He comes to the checkered flag and he does out-qualify the factory Jaguar car. Envision are through and into the fight for pole position, to the delight of Sylvain Filippi, the team principal, as well as the whole of the Envision team. Well, there are your 2 drivers, Buemi versus Taylor Barnard then. It's down to turn 1 for the Briton. He's got a bit of oversteer.
And a 10th in his pocket.
Yeah, but I think we need to see what happens on the exit there, on the run out of that straight. Well, he still hung on to it, but
It's a good first sector from Buemi. I have to say it's the best one we've seen from him so far, but Taylor Barnard, mega first sector.
Yeah, 21.9 for Barnard, 22.1 for Buemi.
He was a bit wider at turn 6 in the bottom right of our screen on that box. You could see he was a little bit wider on that apex than Buemi was. So we'll see as we get into the stadium section how that reflects.
Yeah, it might have cost him a bit of time. So through into the final couple of corners we go for Sebastian Buemi. And this is where the lap can be made or broken. And 2 tenths now is the advantage that Taylor Barnard has over the Swiss driver through the Peraltada and to the line for Sebastian Buemi then as he takes a checkered flag, a 105.249. But Barnard has got nearly 3 tenths of a second in his pocket. Will it be a third pole position? A snap of oversteer through the final right-hander as he aims for the timing line.
That's
track limits. That one has to be track limits. What a phenomenal lap by the young man, but that was definitely further over the line than earlier.
Oh, the disappointment there for Taylor Barnard. If the stewards are going to be looking at that at the moment, he's been classified as the winner and as pole position, and DS Penske think they have done it. But this is the moment that cost Taylor Barnard 3 points and pole. Sebastian Buemi will line up on pole position for the 36-lap E-Prix this afternoon.